Let's talk about how much money I really make and where that money comes from. We'll go over all of your questions and talk about selling art, YouTube, taxes, solo shows, courage, how to make money as an introvert, and much, much more. Let's get started with the first question. Please, how much money are you making from content creation? No, I'm serious. I'm considering just painting and drawing while filming for YouTube. So this is a great question because content creation is becoming one of the main revenue streams for all artists, regardless of what field you're in. And so it's very important to know how these things go, what you can expect from them. Let's dive into my analytics and show you how much I actually make from this. So I'm picking an older video so that we can kind of have some views on this one. Let's click. Let's go to revenue. All right. So how much advertisers pay? $42.25 per 1,000 views. Remember this number. We are going to compare this to other videos so that you get an idea. $42.25. So this totals into $1,300, something like that. Okay, let's go to a painting video because you are going to or you want to be making painting videos. So let's compare this, you know. Watercolor painting, aquarelle. So this video barely got any views. So $10.69. What does that mean? It means that for this video, you would need to make 4 times as many views in order to make the same amount of money as that other video that I showed you. Now let me show you another one because each niche is different and each niche has different CPMs. So let me give you a print on demand video. So print on demand per 1,000 views, $64.57. So that means that in order to make the same amount of money with a painting video as a print on demand video, you will need 6 times more views than somebody who's making print on demand type of content. This video got no views whatsoever, 3,000 or something, and it made $100. That painting video got a little less views, but it only made $8. And so you kind of get the idea. I hope this type of information helps you out. I wish I had this information all the way in the beginning. It would have made everything so much easier. Now you can kind of calculate, okay, this is the CPM for a painting video. So for my type of lifestyle that I want, this is the amount of views that I would need to get in order to make this work. And now you have a goal. We can actually make that goal right now. Let's calculate the whole goal. Let's say you want to make $2,000 a month. So $2,000 a month, how do I calculate this? $2,000 a month. So let's take $8.25 and let's multiply that by, so per 1,000 views. So we have to divide that by, fucking hell, how, this is hard. Let's say you want to make $2,000 a month. So if you would get 1 million views in 1 month, then advertisers would pay $8,520. And so in RPM, that would be around $4,000 that you would actually take home approximately. And so that's a good number. $4,000, that would be pretty good. That's 1 million views a month that you would need to get in order to get. That's a lot of views. And so, yeah, now you get an idea, you know. So next question. I would like to know more about why you think solo shows are a waste of time. What a great question. Solo shows, my God, wow, where to start? So when it comes to solo shows, I just don't see it. Why in the hell would you take 40 pieces, package 40 pieces, transport 40 pieces, then hang 40 pieces 16 different times just to get it right in order for 63 people to show up at your vernissage? Why? It doesn't make any sense. You could be taking a video where you take your art and you just turn it around. People are doing that on TikTok all of the time, and that video could get 1 billion views and it would take you 2 minutes to make. A fraction of what it takes you to make a solo exhibition, and you would get 1,000 times more eyeballs. I mean, seriously, people are taking their art. I could do it right now. So here's what they do. They take a painting like this, and then they turn it around on music, just like this. Bam, and now it's 1 million views. We literally did it right now. In 10 fucking seconds. So here's the thing. It's time that the art world starts to see solo exhibitions for what they really are. A very bad way to reach people. And I'm sure that there are some tax evasion benefits connected to solo shows somehow, but we beginner artists, we don't have access to that. We don't sell artworks at 50k price points, 100k price points, and so we don't have to be busy with that type of stuff. We have to be busy with what we can grab, what we can get right now in the marketplace, and that just happens to be social media. Let's go to the next question. Why do I feel like he would ask me on a date and then ignore me the entire time and make me pay? Well, I can't guarantee you that I wouldn't ignore you, but I can promise you that I would never make you pay. I'll just conveniently forget my wallet at home. Next question. How do you find courage? I'm passionate about stuff, but I feel like I would be shouting into an empty room. Coming up with relevant stuff to share on a regular basis would be a challenge. So, Natalie, I have great news for you, because the best creators in the marketplace actually don't come up with relevant stuff to share. What they do is they let the market come up with relevant stuff to share. They listen to people, they ask questions, they figure out what the pain points are, they figure out what people want, and then they give that to those people. And so in many ways, not knowing what to share is a benefit instead of an obstacle, because now you are going to force yourself to look at the marketplace for ideas, which is exactly what you need to be doing. Now, for the courage part, there are a lot of books talking about courage, and I personally don't believe that most of it actually is going to work. I don't believe that saying I'm courageous 3 times before you go to the shower is actually going to make you courageous. And so what I believe in are the simple basics, the 20% basics that will get you 80% of the result. And so what are those basics? Well, sleep is one of them. I've never met a person that sleeps 4 hours a day and that shows great courage every single day. Another one is eating healthy, working out, looking good, looking lean. That sounds like an obvious one, but it just works. The moment I got lean, the moment I gained some muscle mass, I got some definition, I definitely felt an improvement in my courage, in my confidence, and all of that stuff. And then the third one are your friendships and support system. I have a lot of friends, and some of them are extremely supportive when it comes to, for example, working out, and those same people will absolutely not be supportive when it comes to business. And the other way around as well. I know fat business dudes that are extremely supportive when you're talking to them about business, and when you start talking about working out, the whole thing shifts. And so what does that mean? It means that we have to manage our relationships, in that we have to know what topics to share and what things to talk about with which people. Finding people that support you is going to be very beneficial, and if you don't have those people, then don't share that. Just go on YouTube, make videos, don't share it with anyone, and everything will flow automatically. Great question, because courage has everything to do with making money. More courage equals more money. Let's go to the next question. The House of God. Hi again. Is there a website where I can sell my art but without me paying money to ship my art, as I am poor? Great question, because shipping art is actually pretty expensive. And so good news for you. There are a lot of websites where you can do that. Approximately all online galleries will charge the collector who buys for the painting also for the shipping cost. And so you upfront have to pay $0. They will just take a cut from whatever the price of your art is, and that's it. You will package it, you will ship it, don't have to pay it all. And on top of that, most of these online galleries also don't charge you any listing fees. So it's just percentage on sales, meaning that you don't have to pay anything up front. Next question. First of all, thanks for your kind support of the channel. Really appreciate that. Whistleho Art. I'd like to know how to monetize my videos and get ads like NordVPN. Also, while I have your attention, have you ever thought about doing a live Q&A? And I'd love to know about AI art software like Piximperfect. So, live Q&A, thought about it, but 20k subscribers, nobody's gonna show up to the live Q&A. It's just gonna be me with 3 people, so that's not gonna work, but perhaps in the future. Now, about the monetization thing and the Piximperfect. Piximperfect I have no experience with whatsoever. AI art, we can talk about that, but first, let's go to the monetization part of the equation. So there are a couple of steps. The first step is to meet the eligibility criteria to get monetized, which is 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. Now, this sounds like a lot, but you can get there with basically one video. The video on the screen that you see, 2,000 subscribers, 6,000-7,000 watch hours in one video. And so it only takes one really good video. Now in the second step, you will have to enable monetization in your channel by linking a Google AdSense account to your YouTube channel. This will not be a problem for most people, but there are some countries where this is probably not possible. And so you have to check if your country is part of that whole scheme, but most countries are. In the third step, you want to make high quality, advertiser friendly content. High quality because brands want to connect themselves with high quality so that their brands feels a little bit more high quality, high-end status. And then advertiser friendly, that means no shouting, no bad words, no like racist things and stuff, like the bad stuff, you know. the things that you don't want to do anyway. And on top of that, there also needs to be some kind of brand fit. And so you want to make sure that NordVPN has a benefit to advertise on your channel, meaning that your channel is about software or tech or streaming type of stuff, or anything that targets people that would be able to use NordVPN. And then in the fourth step, especially for beginner channels, beginner artists that don't have a lot of followers, there's a good chance that your dream companies are not going to want to sponsor your stuff, are not going to want to put ads on your things. And so what you could then do is just reach out to them with your own media kit, 1, 2, 3 pages max, where you highlight all the things about your channel, all the benefits for that brand, and you just reach out to them. That's also an option. Next question. Jen Smolko, I have a question. How do you discover that 82% of artists posting on Instagram aren't selling their artwork? So this is a great question. I make polls all of the time. I share data. I share research, more like gross science, not real research. It's just me asking questions to hundreds of artists and then getting some data from that. In theory, that is statistical significant because at 100 votes, you kind of get some statistical significance, but it's pro science in the end. Just trying to learn as much as possible from the marketplace so that I can make sure that my content is in line with what you guys need and want. And that's it, basically. Next question. Dries, you're the wisest. I felt so useless and lost after a summer breakup, drama, and art blog. I had it after complaining all my friends, blah, blah, blah. Let me go to the question. By the way, sorry, breakups are very hard. Breakups are just, that takes time, you know. Question. I only have a question. Regarding the business and marketing side, I'm a quiet introvert and very, very shy. I feel very drained and overwhelmed after an intense social activity and have no money for marketing experts, social media experts. And so, what is the best way of growing an art career, marketing, social media activity if I'm happy living in my shell? There's another question, basically the same thing. How do a shy, introverted person put their art out there in public settings? So guys, I have amazing news. We live as artists in a social media landscape. This is made for introverts. What is video? What is recording? It's alone in your studio. There's nobody. Same when making art, it's making stuff alone in your studio in the first couple of years where you can't hire anyone. And so that is an introverted game. There has never been a better place to be an introverted artist than in the 21st century with social media. But let me give you some actual things, actual actionable things that you can be doing as an introvert. The first one is email marketing. Email marketing has the highest conversion rate of all forms of marketing at this moment. And you don't have to be an extrovert. You can be behind your screen, writing things out, and definitely something that's very high on my own personal list that I should be doing in the future. Another thing you could do is host a open studio type of event. Now, the benefit of that is that you are in complete control of all of your interactions, of the setting, and you are in a very familiar environment, namely your own studio. And so this is a very introverted type of place where you could still try. You can also choose how long you can do it, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, 1 hour, whatever feels comfortable for you personally. Another great thing to do that has been a money maker for artists for the last hundreds of years is teaching in a class. Now this sounds a little bit daunting for an introvert because you have to confront people and talk to them and stuff like that. But today there's such a thing as online courses, online classes. You've heard of them, and they're ideal for introverts because you don't have to face people in real life. And so again, these are opportunities that are just there for the grab. Take them. All of the things that I just mentioned are opportunities. They're there. You can take them. There's really no way in the 21st century that introversion should be standing between you and making money as an artist. Next question. Hey, extremely informative as always. Thanks. Can you put a like reminder in the middle of the video? Otherwise, I forget. I still love you, Dries. Thank you very much. Natalie Price. It's very hard to read. It's too small. Anyway, I cannot put a like reminder in the middle of the videos, but I can give you a good piece of advice from Abraham Lincoln instead. In the end, it's not the years in your life that count, it's the life in your years. We should focus on making the most of every moment and living a life that is full of purpose and meaning by pressing the like button on Dries Ketels videos. Abraham Lincoln. Next question. So next question. First of all, Holly Harlow, thank you so much for your support from all the people with super thanks, super chat, super like, super comment, whatever the name is of that thing. You are all the way on top, so definitely thank you for your support. 3 questions. Dries, are there any worthwhile Instagram alternatives? Is Insta still relevant? And I often think about how you say to reach out for help. How many pieces should a person have before they think about selling their art? Now, this is a great question. Let's go. Let's start with how many pieces you should have before you can sell. I generally would say start immediately. The best feedback that you can get is market feedback. You try to sell, you see that a particular work sells, and then you make more of that particular work. You need to have that information in order to do that, and so start as quickly as possible. Then about the Instagram aspect, Instagram is obviously still relevant, but more important, for the first time in 15 years, you can make an Instagram reel, short form content, and then without changing it to another platform, you can post it on Shorts, YouTube, on Facebook, on TikTok, the same piece of content on all platforms. This is a golden opportunity that has never existed and exists today. I myself am not taking advantage of this opportunity because I'm too focused on long form content on YouTube, but if I wouldn't be doing that, then short form on all platforms is 100% what I would be doing. A question from Zumra Daj. Hello Dries, I'm an emerging artist from the Netherlands and I'm hoping to figure out what kind of insurers I need to have for my artwork. It's frustrating that I can't find any normal information about it. Maybe you could make some kind of video about the subject also. I think that would help a lot of people. So, insurance. Now, this is a really good question. I struggled with that all the way in the beginning. A lot of people struggle with that. In general, I would say that insurance for beginner artists is an absolute waste of your time and money. Sure, there is this possibility that your art will get lost, but this will almost never happen. And if it happens, it's perhaps 1 in 100 pieces. And the insurance for 100 individual pieces of art to ship them would be way more expensive than the cost of losing one particular piece. And so insurance out of the question. Now there is one solution that you could use, and that is online galleries. Because yes, people will be more likely to scam over an independent artist that they think is vulnerable. But an online gallery that has authority, that has some kind of professionalism, will be victim to that way less likely, and most of the times they will solve it. And so this might be a good solution. In general, I would stay away from insurance until you sell at the very minimum at a 5k price point, probably more like a 10k price point, and then you can start thinking about it. So next question, a lot of hair questions. Who got your hair? Can you do a tutorial on the volume part of your hair, how to add volume? Oh my god, I love your hair. I can't stop looking at the hair. It deserves its own channel. That's a really good one. I feel like the hairstyle is copyrighted. Great comment. So I cut my hair myself, but I can walk you through the process. So first I put on some music and then I duct tape scissors to the ceiling and then I just dance in the shower hoping for the best. For the volume part, I just take a vacuum cleaner and just suck it all up, suck it all up. That's it. Let's go. Next question. Whistleho Art. This is not a question, but it's a great suggestion. I'm actually going to hit up my local doctor office since I'm a physio. I have good relationships with doctors and I planned to ask if they want to borrow a painting for their waiting room for free for 6 months. After that, they can choose to buy it or return it with the requirement that I'm allowed to have a portfolio book of my artworks in the waiting room. Most patients who go to doctors are older and more willing to buy artwork and the practice has nothing to lose. So I think this is a great idea for beginner artists. Imagine this. You take 100 artworks, you go to 100 doctors, you make sure that it's hanging in 100 waiting rooms. How many people go to the doctor? 50 a day? So that's 5,000 eyeballs every single day. That's more than the solo show type of thing that we talked about earlier in this video. They didn't get 5,000 eyeballs. If you compare it to Instagram, this is more eyeballs than a 2,000 follower page would give you every single day. And so this looks a little bit unprofessional, but I think it's a great idea. And you could sell this to doctors very easily. I quickly did a ChatGPT research on how you could potentially bring this up, how you could sell this to doctors. Let me read some of the things ChatGPT came up with. So I asked about research around colors in line with medical type of terminology. Here's what it said. Blue Blue is often associated with calmness and relaxation, and research has shown that it can lower blood pressure and slow down breathing rates. I mean, this is massive, you know. Also shown to reduce anxiety, promote feelings of tranquility. Green is associated with nature, it can have a calming and refreshing effect. Research has shown that the exposure to green space can improve mental health, reduce stress. Red suggested that it can boost the immune system and increase circulation just by the color red. And so you can make red paintings, tell that to doctors, show that research, hey, this in your waiting room is absolutely going to be beneficial, etc, etc, etc. Great idea. Now, one thing I have to say about this, because I did something similar, a Michelin star restaurant chef asked me to hang my work in his restaurant, and so I did that. It hung there for like a year, 2 years, something like that, I don't remember, and I didn't solve anything through that process. And so I don't think you have to hope for a lot of salespeople are waiting there. They're not trying to buy art or anything like that. But one thing that will or might happen, and this is very important, you only need one person to succeed as an artist, a gallerist that becomes sick, that has to wait in the waiting room, that reads about your art, that falls in love with your art, and that's all you need. That can transform your entire life. And so although I don't think you will sell a lot of art through this, it's a great way to get exposure and meet people and connect and just try something out. It's way better that it hangs there in doctors' offices than in your own studio being watched by nobody. You have inspired me to learn more and more every day. I'm increasing the value I can offer collectors every day. Thank you so much for your unselfish insights. May I ask you a stupid question? How do I submit my pieces for awards? It's not a stupid question at all. Actually, a very powerful question, because it has everything to do with selling your art. One of the best ways to increase your sales is to increase your authority in the marketplace. One way to do that is to win art competitions. So let's talk about it. The first step is to research competitions and make sure that the competition is completely in line with your artwork. If they ask for all paintings and you make, let's say, drawings, then that's going to be a problem. A pro tip here is to look at the competition winners and see if those artworks are what you are making. Make sure that the winners are very similar to your artworks, because the jurors will kind of base their decisions on previous editions and are oftentimes also just the same jurors in general. So step 2, you have to prepare your artwork with high quality images, meaning that you need professional camera equipment, learn photo editing, or outsource this to a photographer who can do that for you, because images will be everything. Step 3, craft your artist statement. This is a great way to connect with the jurors. Here's the thing. Jurors will base their decision on what they feel, on emotion, not on what they see, not on what they think. It's not a rational decision, it's an emotional decision. And so if you can't connect emotionally with them, then you don't have a chance. And most of the times, the only way to do that is through your artist statement. If you're interested, I have a course on grant writing where I explain all forms of application tricks and artist statement tricks that you could be using. Link in the description. Let's go to number 4, following the submission guidelines. This is very important. If they ask for JPEGs and you give them raw images, then they will most of the times not even consider your application. And so make sure to double check so that you follow all the guidelines. And number 5, wait and wait. Now, it's very common for YouTubers to recommend their own videos at the end of the video. Everybody does that, but I don't want to do that. I actually want to do something else, because I believe that as artists, it's very powerful to learn from different angles, from different people, from different sources. And there's one girl that made a similar video to this that has completely different perspective, completely different points, completely different ways to make money as an artist. And so I highly recommend her video. I don't know her. I'm not befriended with her. Never spoke to her, but that's probably the best thing you could do to get a different source in. Her video is titled How I Make Money as a Cozy Self-Employed Artist, the Big Q&A, Finance, Taxes, Small Biz, Confidence, and her name is Uncomfy. So there you have it. Watch that video. It's okay. I disagree with a lot of the things in that video, but I think it's very valuable to just have those two different perspectives. That said, get the hell out of here.